Hello there. I hope you're doing well today. For those who have subscribed, welcome to this channel again. I want to say, thank you for subscribing, and to those who are yet to subscribe, I hope you'll do so perhaps even at the end of this video. So today, let's walk through this exercise together and recall that we've done this before, and I just want to quickly say that the best way you can maximize the Python class that we've been walking through in this series of YouTube videos is to do these exercises. And if you've seen in one of the quotes that I had, it's that we learn by doing and we do by learning. So that's the best way possible. If you know that you need someone who can, kind of just help you or support you, or maybe someone to ginger you, someone to push you, you can look for someone else around you to subscribe and just learn alongside the person. But I just want to encourage you to follow these YouTube videos. It's going to be very helpful because it's down to earth, and suggestions are welcome as to how to improve them. So this is the exercise we had last time, and I just want to take time to solve them. To solve it rather. So you've been asked to modify the simple balance calculator for retail transactions to give customers a discount of 10% on every item they purchase at your store before giving them their balance. And you were asked to write a Python program to solve this problem. Now, how do you go about this? If you've been following these YouTube videos, you know that we already have a program called singleshopper.py, and I'm not going to talk about this because there's a video on this already, so I'm not even going to explain all this. So what I'm going to do now, and what I expected you to do, was to copy this if you've been following along and just create a new file. By now you should know how to create a new file, and today I chose to use VS Code rather than PyCharm. So, but if you're in PyCharm, it's still the same thing. Just you know how to work on this. So I'm gonna call this single shopper discount.py, and of course in VS Code, don't forget to add the .py. And let me just expand this so that you can see that clearly. All right, so I've copied that. I'm just going to paste it here because I don't intend this to be too long. So what do we have to do? If you look at this place, we've been asked, and ahead of time I've typed it here, you have been asked to modify that, and that's what we want to do now. You have to give customers a discount of 10%. So let's come back here. Now, a discount of 10% would be, so let's call this discount. A discount of 10% on whatever the customer purchased. So we are taking this discount of 10%. That'll be 10% is 10 over 100. And we've also looked at operators, we've looked at operations, we've looked at the order in which operators are executed. And if you've not, there are videos on the playlist, so just locate all these videos. I encourage you to start from the beginning actually. All right, so 10% of the price would give the discount, right? But that doesn't give the whole thing yet, because now we know what the discount is. And so the balance would become the payment. And recall that we had to use decimal, and again I said we already have this in video, so I don't intend to talk about this because I don't want this video to be too long. So we have payment, which is what the person paid, and we can now say minus discount, which is what we're subtracting from. Of course, when you give a discount, you are subtracting that percentage from that amount. So, and then we have minus the price, right? And just to break this further, I think we can then say that price after discount. I think that would be much better. So price after discount would be decimal price, then minus the discount. So what would the balance be? The balance would be the payment, what the customer paid, minus the price after discount. And it doesn't matter how you name your, of course it does matter, because I mean, again, we have this on the playlist. So, but I'm just saying that yours doesn't, you don't need to have the same variable name as mine, right? You might have called it something else, but just give it something that is meaningful. And it's perhaps one of the difficult things to do is this variable naming. All right, so let's print out the customer purchased this and paid this. So let's come here and say, in fact, let's even take this. Okay, let me just reserve that because I still want to give you another exercise very soon. So please give the customer a balance of this after 10% discount. So let's run this. I'm going to save that and let's run this. Python single shopper discount.py. And what item did the customer buy? And recall that I already said, I asked you if the customer purchased a shoe at $30. So what item did the customer buy? Shoe. How much is the item? So how much is the item? The item is $30. So here we have $30. How much did the customer pay? The customer gave $100. So here, 100. And so let's see what we have. And boom, we have an error. So I hope you know why this error is there. Because we have price, which is decimal. And then we have, by the way, price at this point is string. So price at this point is string. And this is very intentional. Price at this point, because these are little mistakes that we can make. Recall that I said by default, when you use input, by default, they default to string inputs. So you need to cast it. And you remember, how did we say we cast? You include, because we are dealing with money in this case, we use decimal. And again, in one of the videos, I talked about why you shouldn't use float. And I also demonstrated that. So again, it's all in the videos that we have on the playlist. So now we have the discount and we have 10% of that price. And so that's why you see the error. It's saying a type error. And what that means is that it's saying that you can't multiply sequence by non-int. So by non-int, it meant that price wasn't of anything that appears to be an integer. So, and this is float. And of course, this defaults to float. Again, we've also talked about the difference between these. If, for instance, you want the integer division, you need this, right? We've talked about that too in one of the videos. So, but in this case, because this is a floating point, and then you're trying to multiply it with a string, it's not going to work. And so let's now try to run it again. I'm going to clear the screen and I'll do that again. So by the way, you can just use the up arrow key just to recall the commands that you've entered in before. So again, I'm just going to do Python single shopper discount.py. And let's see, what item did the customer buy? Shoe. How much is the item? $30. And how much did the customer pay? 100. And boom, we still have the same error. It's still telling us the same thing. We cannot do this. So let's try to see what's happening underneath the hood. And it's good. So what happened, and I didn't go anywhere. I'm still here. And this is one of the things, again, that you would see. So I finished typing my code, and this is one thing, and it's one of the reasons I prefer to set my VS Code to just autosave. So if you don't have that feature turned on, I encourage you to turn it on. And I'm not so sure if I have a video on that, but if you know how to do that, if you don't know how to do that, please do let me know. So I didn't save, actually. That's what the problem was. So I've saved now, and let's rerun again because I wasn't expecting that error. I'm going to clear, and I'm going to do this again. What item did the customer buy? Shoe. How much is the item? And then 100. And we have this error now. And again, so this error you're seeing here is because, and I'm intentionally walking you through all this because these are things you face from day to day, right? Working with things like this, these are things that you would probably face. You would definitely face. Debugging should be something that you enjoy doing. So again, let's cast this to decimal because what we want to do here, and as you can see, it's still a type error. At first, what we had was trying to multiply floating point by a decimal, by decimal, and then we couldn't do that. So now, sorry, floating point by string, we couldn't do that. And then we've tried floating point by decimal, and that still didn't work because we still get the same kind of error, type error. And I'm not going to edit this video just so you see, because I didn't do this ahead of time. And some of these errors that I have made here are very intentional so that you understand what goes on underneath, behind the scene. You watch some of these video tutorials, you don't see all these errors, and you know, most of them work just as they, but that's not really what goes on behind the scene. This here that you're seeing and you're watching is one of the things that go on behind the scenes. So learn to debug your code. And so let's see again. It says unsupported operand types for multiplication. Float and decimal do not go together. So let's see if we don't do this. Let's see what we have. Again, I'm going to save that now. I'm going to clear and I'll rerun. What shoe? How much? 30. What did the customer pay? 100. And boom, here we have it. So the customer paid 100, and then it's saying, please give the customer a balance of 73. So the question is this correct? Yes, it is. So, but the only thing I think I would do is to limit the floating point to just 2 decimal places. And for us to do that, we can just do a round here, comma 2. And that would just give us 2 decimal places. Again, I'm going to save and I'm going to rerun. What item did the customer buy? Shoe. How much is the item? $30. How much did the customer pay? $100. And so the customer purchased shoe and paid $100. Please give the customer a balance of 73 after 10% discount. And so this here sums it up. And this is the solution to exercise 3. I hope you found it challenging. I'll be posting exercises a lot because I feel that that's one of the ways you can actually learn. And again, thank you for those who have subscribed. And in case you are yet to subscribe, kindly do so. And of course, remember to turn on the notification bell. And please don't forget to hit that like button, the thumb up button, so that these videos can get recommended to others who would probably need it. And of course, feel free to also share the video. We're all learning together. Thanks for watching and see you another time. Bye.